Hey, Peewee here with Living in Liberty with Peewee. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a little bit since I put out a video. In fact, this past fall, I put out a video where we were camping at Burgess Falls. Little did I know that that would be the last camping trip I would take with our Jayco hybrid camper. So sold it this fall. It was becoming even more difficult to get all of our schedules on board. But at the same time, I do need some type of hobby. And so I sold the camper and sold it to a gentleman up in Kentucky, and I think he's excited about having the camper. It's been a good camper for us. But in the meanwhile, I thought, you know, I may get a motorcycle. And so I polled my family and started talking to them about me becoming a motorcycle person. Not one of these that rides with big groups, but just to kind of get out and ride a little bit. I think I enjoy riding with my pickup truck, back roads, and just driving. I've always enjoyed the road. When I was a kid, I loved riding bicycles a lot. My neighborhood, I logged thousands of miles on my bicycle. So I thought maybe I'll get a motorcycle. But my family voted no. In fact, they were like, "We don't think you're a motorcycle person." And I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I think they're attacking my manhood. I'm not sure, but I listened to my family. I think they love me. They're thinking I would have a wreck and get killed. So, and they say it's not a matter of if you're going to have an accident on a motorcycle, it's just a matter of when. All right, so I get that. Maybe that's something that I do later. But I did purchase a used four-wheeler from a guy in Smithville that was moving to Kentucky. He had two four-wheelers, and he was keeping his new one, and he moved it to Kentucky, but he had a used four-wheeler that he allowed, you know, his grandkids would ride, and they were older now, and so he wanted to sell it. And so found it online after, you know, kind of watching online for a couple of months, and I found it. And here's a picture of it. We'll cut away to a picture. It looks rough. I know it looks rough. If you take a look at it, the plastics on it are faded. The racks on it, the front and rear rack, there's rust on it. They're bent. But the thing was mechanically sound. It run great. The brakes work, transmission, all of it, lights. The guy had taken care of it as far as the engine goes. It was under a shed, but it was under a shed that did allow some sunlight to come in. So some of those pictures you're thinking, I'm not sure if you got a good deal on that. I got a great deal. But here's a few pictures of what I did to it to restore some of the plastics. So take a look at this picture. This is an after picture of when I worked on the plastics. So you see this. Now, what you see there is you take tire foam, Armor All tire foam, and you spray it on a four-wheeler's plastic. You spray that. It's that foaming, you know, tire spray you put on your tires and walk away. You spray it on the tire, on the plastic of the four-wheeler or three-wheeler, whatever you got, and just walk away. And about 2 days later, that foam, Armor All tire foam, has soaked into the plastic. It gets into the pigments. Next thing you know, it brings the color back out on the plastics. And so that has lasted, by the way. I did that in early December when I bought the four-wheeler. And like 2 weeks later, it was still held up. And I thought, okay, it's going to make it. And then now it's 3 months later, and it still looks great. When you first do that, if you try that, you do have to wipe off some excess residue maybe 2 days later. But for the most part, it holds up. So anyhow, today I've got even some more pictures. I took the racks off, and one of my guys at church, he took those racks and straightened those out, done a couple of welds, and really made them look great. Then he got them back to me. I sanded them down, and I sprayed them with some flat black, with some primer, and then flat black, and put them back on the four-wheeler. And so here's a picture now of a really after picture. And you can see it's made a pretty good transformation. Didn't take a lot of work. But today we're going to go for a ride. We're going to go over toward Dowtown and Dismal, toward Smith Fork Creek as it heads toward Temperance Hall. We're going to pedal a little bit. It's a Friday afternoon. It's around 60 degrees. And go along with me for this ride. Thanks. All right, it's a 2008 Yamaha Grizzly or Kodiak 350. It's two-wheel drive. Got a little positive camber on that left front tire. Got to work on that. I think I've got an A-arm that's bent just a little bit. But Kodiak or Grizzly, they're really the same. 350 two-wheel drive. Looking forward to having some fun with this. In fact, a few weeks ago we did have some snow and got to pull some sleds and have some fun with that. I did put some mirrors on there for some road driving so that you can see traffic behind you. But you can see the plastics, how they come out. They turned out really good. And again, just a little bit of work. And I know I'm living in Liberty, and in Liberty you can have you got creeks, you've got some back roads, you got access to some off-roading sometimes. And when you live in Liberty, having a four-wheeler or a side-by-side is just a good thing. So let's go for a ride today, and let's see how this thing runs. Take care. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Living in Liberty with Peewee. Hopefully I'll have some more videos of me on the four-wheeler, maybe going fishing when it gets a little warmer. We've got the Smith Fork Creek that runs right behind the church here, but then also all the way past Dowtown toward Temperance Hall. Looking forward to some longer trips on the Grizzly 350 here. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Sad to say goodbye to my camper. We enjoyed it. I did a number of camping videos, but now it'll give way to maybe some four-wheeler and some fishing videos here in Liberty. Listen, that's Living in Liberty with Peewee today. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.